But first, he is one half of Macko and Cauz on TSN 1050. You can also follow him on twitter.com/mcauz, CAUZ56. And I think he still writes for CFL.ca. I haven't cared to look. It is Matt Cauz.
Listen, just because the Montreal Alouettes franchise seems like a joke right now and no one knows what the hell's going on is no reason for you to rip on me and my, extraordinary CFL credentials.
I should not, because you are a very good columnist, my friend.
Oh, every now and then I get a B-. Can I, first of all, thanks for having me. Can I have a quick 30-second tirade?
You can, yes.
Hey, Telus, how you guys doing out there? Matt Cauz here. Your BlackBerry Bold, you didn't give anyone a heads up that you were discontinuing it, and then your phone suddenly doesn't work anymore, and now I have to buy a new phone and spend $250 while waiting to do this. I'm stuck with this old phone, and I feel like I've been left on the lurch. My loyalty to this phone has let me down. Damn you, Telus, BlackBerry, and anyone else involved.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I'll take a different approach. I wanted you on this segment because it's slightly longer, and you said sure, and it gave you ample time to make preparations.
Hold on. I had my phone. It was charging. And when I picked up my phone, it was charging, and then it died. I'm right now literally tethered 1 foot to the wall, or 1 foot to the wall. There's good English. To a power source here. I was all set and ready.
You were anticipating. All right. Let's get to it, my friend. So much to talk about. Obviously, you cover it all. You talk it all. I want to hear your thoughts on the trade deadline vis-a-vis the division that we both play in. That would be the Leafs and the Canadiens.
Sure.
And what you think is going to happen.
I think for the Maple Leafs, very little. The thing is, they're not good enough where they need to make some major moves because they feel they're close to winning a Stanley Cup. And they're not bad enough where it's like, this is a team of sellers. I think the best thing the Maple Leafs can do is pretty much nothing, beyond some sort of minor tinkering at the level of Tim Gleason. But, his contract was fairly large. I don't think Toronto's going to do very much when you look at the roster. As for Montreal, the one move of interest will be Andrei Markov at a good game against Toronto. Adam Proto wrote a column about it in the Hockey News is, will he be the guy on the move? But I think it's going to be fairly quiet for both teams.
All right, elsewhere, Blue Jays starting spring training. Are you with this minus 100 weather, you got to be psyched about that.
I'm psyched about the concept of the sun. I've seen highlights and seen people not wearing parkas, and it confused me. And that part, I got to tell you, it seems like a really sweet idea to be able to outside and not be freezing. As for the Blue Jays, well, they're no different than last year's team. They don't have Josh Johnson, and there's a couple minor parts that aren't here anymore, but it's sort of the same team. And I think what everyone's waiting for is, was that the right gamble? Do you expect, Brett Laurie to be healthy and Jose Bautista to be healthy and Brendan Morrow? It's more like everything that could go wrong went wrong last year. What sort of market correction will we have this year? And would that be enough, to turn around and make the Leafs relevant?
Are you
the Blue Jays relevant?
Are you disappointed that they didn't go out and get another pitcher?
I'm disappointed in this. Yeah, I am disappointed. I mean, let's face it. The guys out there weren't great. Ubaldo Jimenez he had a short, brief, span in Colorado where he was dominant, and he had about a 20-stretch run with Cleveland. But for the most part, he's a mediocre, average pitcher. Irvin Santana is not bad. He throws a lot of innings, but none of the guys are great. But I think for me, what I'm disappointed about is if you're going to compete in the American League East, you can't be ninth in payroll. You have to be, I believe, in the top five. So it would have been nice if they had gone out, got one of those guys. Well, listen, Rogers has tons of money. I mean, it's not like they've spent it on anything over the last 6 months. So they got cash just sitting there. And, if you want to try to compete, that's what you have to do.
All right, switching sports yet again. How about your Toronto Raptors? Big win today, first place. Got to be loving it.
Listen, you have to love that. This is such a confounding team, and in Toronto, no one knows how to celebrate them? Do we celebrate them? Because they've been so bad for so long. And coming into this year, well, what was all the talk? The talk was simple. We have got to tank. We got to tank this season. And they just kept getting better and better. And they lose Rudy Gay, and they get better and better. So it's been a really fun team to watch. There's a lot of, there's some young parts that you're enjoying. I'll say that Valanciunas especially has been disappointing recently, especially in that triple overtime loss to Washington. But, I mean, my big question for the Raptors, where's the contract extension from Dwayne Casey? What more does he need to do to prove he's a good coach?
How about the comments from Brian Colangelo lately about how he admitted to kind of tanking the season?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's dumb of him for admitting it, but also I admire him for admitting it because it goes on. Let's face it.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
What?
Here's my take on it, all right? Brian Colangelo, former GM of the Raptors, obviously still involved with the organization, not the GM anymore, coming out and saying that he admittedly tanked, was it the 11-12 season, right?
Yeah.
My take is it's a way to cover his ass. See, I wasn't that bad of a GM. It was the plan on purpose to be bad.
Oh, I agree. If you're him, it's in a perfect spot. It's like, what? We meant to keep Andrea Bargnani. No, I was going to trade him. Listen, my praise of him has nothing to do with his ability as a GM. And you're 100% right. It's a good weasel move by him because he gets to look good either way. Let's face it, he was a below-average GM. The Rudy Gay deal he made was just to try to save his ass, and instead that was horrible for Toronto. But it does point out a bigger problem with the NBA. There is no parity. There's not even close to it. This year, there's only 3 teams that can win. Everyone is desperate. You need that one legitimate superstar. And beyond that, most superstars only want to go to about 8 different locations. So for every other team, you can't go out and get a great player. It's the biggest flaw with the NBA is it's predictable. We know who's good. We know who's going to be in the finals. And so many teams are hamstrung. If you're Milwaukee, Minnesota, Toronto, there's so many places where most NBA stars think to themselves, nope, I'm not going there.
All right, and then finally, the Argonauts. How do you think they're looking for next year?
I think. What are we talking about? What are we talking about the Oscars?
Oh yeah. All right. Here's the deal. We'll go a little long in this segment. All right. Yeah. Two things. One. Number one. You're a CFL guy, obviously. Argonauts are they looking good to repeat in that division?
No. Yes, I think they're looking good to repeat in the division. I think the division is an absolute disaster.
But why aren't we going with just 9 teams and like a lot of people want? Just top 6 make the playoffs, no divisions.
I would love that. I think it's a great idea. Part of me hates divisions in any sports, but okay. The problem with Toronto, they've lost almost all their great coaches are gone. So there's been a brain drain on that side. Also, they've lost. I still don't feel comfortable with their defense. That last year statistically was poor. What's that?
Shea Emery.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. And, of course, from Montreal. Listen, I love that signing. There's a couple guys on the Alouettes I've always followed and been, mortally afraid of. I love the Shea Emery signing, but I still have a lot of questions about that defense. Statistically, they weren't that good. They've lost their defensive coordinator. But on the other side, listen, when Ricky Ray is healthy, Toronto actually has a fun offense, something that we hadn't had since Doug Flutie. So, and I shouldn't be saying we, as I am the CFL.CA's writer. But I think the best thing going for those Toronto Argonauts is Montreal for the first time looks like a mess. Winnipeg's horrible. I think Hamilton takes a step back, and the other team is an expansion team. All that, Toronto, weak division, they should have it.
All right, and then finally, Oscars. What do you got for me?
Okay, first off, am I the only one that's going to complain that all is lost with Robert Redford? Never even got nominated. Absolutely ridiculous. To me, this was a very good year. A lot of good movies. It's not like one of those years where there's 1 or 2 good ones and everyone knew that was going to win. The safe money's obviously is on 12 Years a Slave. I'm a big fan of Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know why that's not getting more
Loved that movie.
Love that movie. I mean, listen, American Hustle, the acting's fantastic. The story is weak. You leave at the end of the movie. You don't even know what you wonder what happened. All you know is that everyone looked good and everyone acted really good. I'd love to see Jennifer Lawrence win again. I mean, we saw Tom Hanks win back to back with Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. So why not Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah.
Winning in a couple close years after winning for Silver Linings Playbook. I can't wait for the Oscars.
Wow, you are pumped about the Oscars.
I have never missed a moment since 1988, the year that Rain Man won Best Picture. I've never missed a second.
Wow, I am very impressed with this. I had no idea. So do you just you take in a lot of you take in a lot of premieres and hot shot?
Yeah,
you just kind of.
I don't do any premieres because I don't like waiting in line. And a lot of people that line up and go to premieres are just movie snob types that go to like TIFF, and I can't handle those people. But no, I'm a total movie geek, and to me, the Oscars is like the Super Bowl. I love the history of it.
Yeah.
Like literally, I've sat and watched old Oscars from the mid '50s just to see what Bob Hope would say. I'm an old man at 38.
All right. I don't know where to go from there. Matt Cauz.
Really not much.
Macko and Cauz, of course, on TSN 1050. And, of course, mcauz56 on twitter.com. Appreciate your time as always. Good luck with the phone battle. Good luck.
Thank you. Oh, listen, I'm battle. Battle suggests I have a chance. I've lost. I've capitulated. And an evil Telus and BlackBerry have won.
I'm sorry, Matt. Hey, on the bright side, you have the Oscars tonight.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, before I go, I don't understand why people don't like PK Subban. That guy's so much fun to watch. Even though the Leafs lost, I love that guy. I don't get it at all.
Not enough love for PK Subban in this city, huh?
I know. It's crazy.
Thanks, Matt.
Take care.
That's Matt Cauz from TSN 1050 in Toronto. Love it. Love it.